Hey guys, it's Natasha and welcome back to this week's video. Today I will be talking about books that I bought based on their covers and they actually turned out pretty great. That's a very long title, but anyway. Before we get started, please remember to like and subscribe. Click the notification button next to the subscribe button if you want to be notified once my videos are uploaded. And without any further ado, let's get on with the video. Before I show you the first book, I would just like to say I'm only going to show the first part of the book in some of the series that I enjoyed, mainly because my books are scattered all around the show. And also, if I take too many out, it's going to look like all my books are toppling over. So that's basically that. I will put a link for the series in the description down below if you want to see more of the series. The first series is written by Kelly Armstrong and it's the Women of the Underworld series. We're starting with Bitten. This basically follows Elena Michaels and she explains how she left the pack 16 months ago. Out of the blue, she gets a call from her pack leader saying that it's very urgent. She already created a life for herself outside the pack. She already dismissed the fact that she's not going back to the pack, and with the urgency of her pack leader's voice, she decides to go back to the pack and find out what is wrong. She then finds out that there's a series of mutts, and it's kind of like stray werewolves that don't belong in a pack, that they are killing off innocent people in the town close to them, and now she is asked to help them find this mutt and kill him before he reveals their secret. Pretty great read. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's such a simple, cover. You wouldn't think that it would grab your eye as much, but the moment I saw it in the bookstore, I was like, I want that book, and I'm going to buy it. The second book is also part of a series, and it's the Heart of Dread trilogy, I believe, by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. This book is kind of a sci-fi dystopian type of novel, and it's set in New Vegas. It's Las Vegas, but the world is covered in snow and there's debris everywhere in the ocean. So one of the characters, her name is Nat, she is trying to go to paradise, I believe, and she employs a veteran of the war. And keep in mind, these are all 16-year-olds, because the people don't live very long due to circumstances and due to environmental stuff. So she employs this guy to take her safely. I think it's across the Atlantic Ocean, but they call it the Blue. So she wants to go to this mystical place because there's something calling her. And the other thing about her is she's got very unique eyes, and these people have been killed not for their eyes, but because of their eyes, because the people around them believe that they are the cause of the world going haywire. And this place is also a place where the sun, it's like it is now. The sun shines, there's sand, there's just happiness. And where she lives now, she can't experience that. So she basically wants to go there and experience a whole new life. But unfortunately, because of her heritage, because of her eyes, she is in a very dangerous place and she will not be safe up until the point where she actually lands on this island mystical place. So as well, also a very simple book, but I thoroughly enjoyed the series. The second book is red and it's got red pages around it, and I think, okay, the third book is gold, but it doesn't have like a gold lining around it. Would have been cool if they made this blue, but anyway. So I think that's what drew my attention more, was the fact that the second book was red and all the pages were red as well. So the next book in the series is kind of like a supernatural romance story, and it is Kissed by an Angel by Elizabeth Chandler. I don't know. This is her pen name, or pseudonym. If you Google her, I'm sure they will give you her correct name. I'm not sure, but look at this beautiful cover. Images of, it's just so plain, and the flower is just so beautiful. But anyway, from the get-go, you are told that 16-year-old Ivy's boyfriend has unfortunately died. And how the story starts is how it explains how the brakes failed and how he was trying to swerve out of the way for a deer, and unfortunately, because the brakes were failing, he had no way of saving them, and then I believe he threw himself over her so that she won't fly out the front window. So after the prologue, you get a build-up of how they met, and you fall in love with how the shy Ivy, gets to know this sporty Tristan, and how they always had feelings for each other, but they never pursued it until Ivy's best friend pushed her towards him. Another thing that I remember of Ivy is she can't swim, so that's what made this whole ordeal even more awkward for her, and that she couldn't speak to Tristan, was the fact that she can't swim. And then unfortunately, when he dies, she is left desolate. She doesn't know what to do. And after a while, she realizes that he hasn't left her. He's now her guardian angel, and he's trying to protect her from something that is trying to destroy her very close to home. Like I say, very simple, very elegant, and the colors just pop. So it really grabbed my attention, and I really just loved everything about this book. The fourth series is, I'm not sure if a lot of people have read it, or because I read it such a long time ago that, and booktube wasn't a thing back in, I would say 2010. Well, I didn't watch booktube videos, so I wasn't necessarily aware if people were reading these, but it's the Wings Saga by, oh no, it's not the Wings Saga. It's just a Wings series by April and Pike. I don't know if they used another name for the series, because it can be conflicting with this Wings. So, but anyway, so we follow okay, so we follow the 16-year-old Laurel, and she is trying to come to terms with the fact that her parents are basically selling her paradise away to a person that she doesn't like. The real estate agent is giving her, I don't know, she just feels, when you have that gut feeling about someone that you don't like, that's what she has. So she really doesn't want her parents to sell this house to them, because this is like her safe space. There were woods in the back where she would usually go, and she would feel safe. She would play the guitar, and all of a sudden her parents have just fallen into financial difficulties, and now they have to move. Another thing I have to mention about Laurel is that she was homeschooled up until the fact that she was 16, and then her mother realized that she cannot do it anymore, so she puts Laurel in a public school, and then she meets David and Chelsea. And while this is happening, puberty hits in, and she discovers that she has wings, but it's not, the traditional fairy wings where it flutters and carries on. It's actually wings that look like petals. And now she's trying to save her house from this real estate agent, because someone told her that he is not who he seems to be, and she's trying to persuade her parents to not sell the house without telling them that she's a fairy. That is a mouthful. But the reason why this book caught my attention was, if you turn it a bit, it shimmers. I put a plastic cover on it when I was like 13, just to preserve my books. And then with the rest of the books that I have now, there's too much. It would be too much. The first two books shine like this, and then the last two books are just matte covers, which is somewhat upsetting because they're not the same. But this just caught my eye because it was very nice. And can I just mention that when I bought these books, they had the nicest smell to them. It wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. It was flowery, but it also wasn't flowery. I don't know if that explains anything. But it was such a nice smelling book, and now, yeah, it's lost. Now it just smells like book, which is still good, but I want to relive those memories. Maybe I should reread all these books. So the fifth book in the series is, I can't say it caught my eye because obviously it did. Most of these, this is what the video is about, Natasha. But anyway, the fifth book is the Demon King, well, the Seven Realms series by, what's her name again? Cinda Williams Chima. I'm sorry for butchering that name. But all her other books are widely accessible in South Africa, and then the Seven Realms series is just missing in action. I have the first three, and that's as far as it goes. And I'm guessing There's 7 books because it's a 7-round series. So basically, the story is just about a boy who is trying to, how can I say, keep his mom and his sister alive. I know something happened to his father, but I can't remember exactly what. I read this so long ago. And he is also part of this clan that they steal stuff, and that's how they survive through the night or survive throughout the day. And then one day, he and his friend comes across someone who is trying to set the sacred mountains around them alight, and he tackles him. He steals an amulet from him, and little does he know, stealing this amulet from him will actually cost him his whole life. He loses his mom, he loses his sister, I believe also in a fire, because the arsonists come back and they actually set fire to the whole town in which this boy lives. And he is now trying to deal with the fact that this has happened, but he's also placed on an adventure that will actually make him cross paths with the heir of the Fell Kingdom. Yeah, I believe it. I think her name is Raisa. And Raisa is aspiring to be one of the warrior queens because she was just with her father and their clan for like 3 years. So she wants to be this warrior queen. She wants to fight all the kingdom's battles. But her mom was like, Nana, you at the ripe age of getting married and you have to marry the arsonist, believe it or not, because the arsonist is the high warlock's son. So they are trying to band together a kingdom, and the wizard is just trying to worm his way into this kingdom. And Raisa and the boy, whose name is Han, I should have mentioned that, they have to band together to actually try and save this kingdom. Also, very plain cover. It just caught my eye because it looks so cool. I don't know where the ship comes from. There's a ship there, like right there. Yeah, there. So I don't know where that comes from, but I still enjoy the cover. And I'm trying to find the rest of the series because I only read book 1 and 2, and then I was like, I can't continue when I don't have the rest of the series. The next series is, I believe so far by far, one of my ultimate favorite love story, enemies to lovers book trope, I don't know what you want to call it, but it is the Earthbound series by April and Pike. So we follow Tavia Michaels, and she is the sole survivor of an airplane crash with 246 seats. She went with her parents to this, well, she flew with her parents, and unfortunately halfway through, something happened to the plane and they crashed, and she was the only sole survivor. Now she's haunted by the memory, she's haunted by the fact that she's the only one alive. And then while speaking to her therapist, she reveals that she's been seeing triangles everywhere and she's being haunted and she's being followed by someone that only she can see and no one else can see. And he's trying to point her to the fact that she has a whole history. She's reincarnated from a whole line of women trying to save the world. Over time, she learns that the people she trusted the most, the people that she believed in the most, were actually there to hurt her. But it's not someone you think it is. So there was a twist in there that I wasn't expecting, which was quite exciting. Also, I don't know, April and Pike, because I read the other. April and Pike has this very interesting thing where she uses flowers for her covers. So I'm quite enjoying that. It's very eye-catching. If you see this in a bookstore, you'll think, wow, yeah, I really like that. I don't know what the series is called, but it's Defiance, Deliverance, and Deception by CJ Redwine. So much to unpack with this book. It's so adventurous, so exciting, and the girl with the red hair just caught my eye, and I was like, woo! And it's gold because I saw it from the side, and I was like, oh wow, that looks very nice. So, and then if you turn it, it actually looks really cool. So basically, this follows a girl named Rachel. Yeah, and her world is turned upside down when her father, who's a traveler and he works for the commander, very evil man, he never returns home. And the commander sent him on a mission to find a very rare artifact for his evil plan, but we won't say what it is. And so while her father's gone, she is actually in the care of her father's apprentice, and she has feelings for him, but she doesn't know he has feelings for her as well. That's an old story, but we love a story like that. We love a trope like that. Anyway, so she is being bullied by the commander and she's being tortured by the commander until she gives in that she will go and find her father. And on her way towards searching for her father and looking at all the safe places that he used to frequent when he was traveling, because he used to take her on some of the journeys he went on, she picks up a few friends and she discovers that her new friends are actually linked to her life, merely for the fact that they know what happened to her father. And when she uncovers the truth, she's highly upset. And it's just a roller coaster ride from start to finish. It's really a great book. I can't sell this enough. Did she escape? No, I think she went willingly. Not me having a conversation with myself. I think the commander threatened her and her friend. Yes. So she actually had no other choice but to go and find her father and this rare artifact that the commander wants. But great story all around, great trilogy all around. The last series that I want to point out is Sarah J. Maas's Stone of Glass series. Yes, I'm only at book 4 right now, but I can tell you this is an exceptional read from start to finish. If you enjoy fantasy stories, you will enjoy it. I'm not going to speak much about it because for the past couple of videos I've been speaking a lot about these books. But this is basically just about Adeline's most feared assassin, and she has been spending a year in Indovia, which is a slave encampment where they mine salt. And now she's asked by the king's son to be his champion in the king's championship. If she wins, she won't go back to Indovia and be a slave for the rest of her life. But if she loses, those are the stakes. And the king's son tells her that if she does, however, win the championship, she has to be employed by his father for at least 4 to 5 years. She agrees because it's better than mining salt for the rest of your life. So the story just follows how she is swept away from Indovia and thrown into this whole magical experience, but it's also magicless, if I might add. And then there's 22 or 24 champions, and they are starting to die one by one, and she has to team up with a group of other people and find out who is killing the champions before the championship. But the mere fact that I bought the covers, the mere fact that I bought these books were for the covers. Grammar failed me now, because, and I've done this so many times, but it's like an assassin in the front and it's a princess in the back. Let me show you a better one. I haven't read this one yet. Almost attacked the camera. I haven't read this one yet, but I realized, and I think this is like one of my favorites, is she looks like an assassin at the front, and then if you turn it, she really looks like a queen, with this golden dress and everything. I like it. It intrigued me. Actually, now that I look at it, the last book, Kingdom of Ash, I think it's over 900 pages. Yeah, 984. I hope I don't crack the spine. Anyway, so this is how it looks in the front, and then if you turn it, this is how it looks in the back, and it's so nice. Can we not book? Second last book is standalone. There we go. And I think it's the only book that I have that doesn't have a supernatural element or magical element or anything. But it is The Holiday by Erica James. This is not The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and all the other people. Jack Black. Was it Jack Black? Yeah, it's not that one. Okay. This is basically about a girl who's been emotionally bullied all her life by her mother, and If you hear a dog barking in the background, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's come over it. It's not my dog. It's just barking. Izzy meets this couple in their 50s, I believe. She's still in her early 30s. And, you know, she builds a relationship with them, a very good friendship with them. And then they invite her to go to their holiday home in Greece. And this is just a book that made me fall in love with Greece, even though I can only imagine everything in my mind. She's also trying to escape an ex-boyfriend that treated her badly, just as her mother treated her. So she goes to Greece, and then she meets this nice Greek. He looks like a Greek, you know, he's got tan skin, he's ripped, I don't know, he's got money because that makes the world go around. And her friend that she's staying with hopes that she will fall in love with Theo so that she can get over her life and make a new life in Greece. But unfortunately, that doesn't work because his charms, surprisingly, don't work on Izzy. And then one of Theo's closest and oldest friends, he comes to visit as well, and he sweeps Izzy off her feet, making her forget about everything that has ever happened to her. And this ends up being a holiday that she really won't ever forget. I'm not a very big fan of romances, mostly because I know how it ends. So it's like a meh, okay, it's cute and all, whatever. But I really enjoyed this book. This is really my comfort read, mostly because it's got Greece in, and so far Greece has been really a country that I want to travel to. And then the last book I believe is a middle grade book. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if it's a series, but as far as I googled, it's a standalone, and it's Stolen Away by Alexandra Harvey. Alexandra, my bad. So sorry about that. This is just about a girl. I believe she's either a witch or she's a fairy, but I'm guessing with the wings on the cover, she's a fairy. And one day she's hanging out with her friends in a parking lot where they are selling ice cream because it's the hottest day of summer. And then this man, clad in armor and a sword and everything, bends down in front of her, and he is like, what? You must come with me, he said urgently. Please, if I have found you, the others will as well. And she's taken so aback. She's like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Why are you embarrassing me? Why are you bowing in front of me? One of her arch nemesis is also there, so she mocks her about it as well. She tries to, you know, shove this guy away and be like, okay, maybe he's just into dress up and being dramatic and everything. But she soon comes to realize that what he is trying to tell her and what he's trying to save her from is actually legit. I blanked on that word. And soon she figures out that her mother has been keeping secrets from her, and her very infamous aunt that has been traveling the world is actually the king of fairies' wife, and she is the only one who can destroy this king. I don't remember how this book ends, to be honest, but I remember it was a very good read. Quite, you know, simple if you just want something fast to read. So I don't know, I think it was just the dragonfly wings that pulled me in. It was simple, elegant book covers I really enjoy. So what did we learn through this? If you want me to buy your book, make it simple, make it cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like the video if you did, and subscribe, and let me know down below which books you bought for cover purposes and actually ended up liking. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.